People talk about overcoming addiction as if it's coming back home, as if it's about regaining control, as if you simply return to who you used to be before everything fell apart. But here's the truth no one says clearly. You're not going back. That person no longer exists. They died somewhere along the way. What's left are fragments of an identity that no longer fits. Addiction wasn't a detour. It was a demolition. And when the substance disappears, when the noise fades, when the chaos settles, you don't find your old self waiting with open arms. You find a void staring back at you asking, "Who are you now?" The world loves stories where the hero rises again, but no one prepares you for the death that comes before rebirth. Because to be reborn, something in you must die, your identity, your excuses, your illusions. When the substance leaves, it takes your comfortable identity with it, the narrative where you were the victim, the armor that protected you from terrifying questions. Who am I without this? What do I do with this freedom that feels heavier than chains? As Søren Kierkegaard wrote, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. And when you stop running, that dizziness hits you full force. Recovery is not heroic. It's confrontation. Because once you've walked through fire, you can no longer tolerate the superficiality of the world. You've seen the bottom of suffering. You've stood at the edge of the abyss. And that changes you permanently. Your scale of pain recalibrates. What feels catastrophic to others feels minor to you. And that isolates you. Not because you're cold, but because you've seen what most people never see. Here's the paradox. Healing makes you stronger and lonelier. You don't gain the strength the world applauds. You gain a silent strength, a dark strength, forged in truth and acceptance. The ability to look at your own shadow without blinking. As Friedrich Nietzsche said, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. But finding that why after addiction feels like searching for light in an endless tunnel. Because you can no longer believe in simple promises. You know life is fragile. Control is an illusion. Suffering doesn't need permission. So you build meaning not from naive hope, but from acceptance. No guarantees. No promised rewards. Just the daily decision not to run. The bravery isn't in quitting. The bravery is in staying quit. Waking up without applause. Without witnesses. Without recognition. Choosing clarity over fog. Reality over illusion. Conscious pain over numbness. And in that silent repetition, you discover your true strength. As Viktor Frankl taught, everything can be taken from a person except one thing. The freedom to choose their attitude toward circumstances. That's what remains when everything else is gone. Your ability to choose. You don't rebuild who you were. You build someone new. Someone who has seen the abyss and decided not to stay there. Healing doesn't make you happy. It makes you real. It gives you clarity, authenticity, freedom, but not the romantic freedom sold in movies. The hard freedom of living without pretending. And that freedom costs you comfort. Sometimes even connection. Because the world runs on polite lies, on shared illusions, and you can no longer participate in them. As Epictetus said, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. And your judgments have changed. Pain is no longer your enemy. Failure is no longer the end. Loneliness is no longer rejection. It is clarity. And when you look back at everything you lost, everything you destroyed, everything you had to let go of, you realize something most people never will. It was worth it. Not because life is perfect now. Not because you're always happy. But because you are real. And after living in illusion for so long, reality, as harsh as it is, feels like a gift. Not glamorous. Not epic. But yours. And that is more than most people will ever have.